a name in Braid speedrunning. It's really an honor to be commentating on his speedrun. I'm Canman85. I'm currently the second best speedrunner in Braid. So you got the top 2 ones here, so that's pretty cool. Braid has been going through a lot of changes when it comes to strategy and speedrunning. From when we started speedrunning it hasn't been that many changes the last couple of years. But basically, if you don't know about Braid at all, Braid is an indie game made by Jonathan Blow, the same guy who made The Witness, which you may have heard of. I think The Witness is slightly more popular than Braid, at least among the young ones. Braid became very famous, I think it's from 2005, for being the first indie game that was commercially successful. It was, of course, completely outcompeted by Minecraft as a successful indie game, but before Minecraft, Braid was basically the successful indie game. It is... Braid is way more popular than The Witness. Total, maybe, but like people today may know, whatever. So yeah, Braid looks a little bit like Super Mario. It's like a 2D platformer, but one of the big differences is that Braid is a puzzle game. It's mostly based around a rewind time mechanic. Oh, and I think here we go. We're going to start it up. I need some sound. There is no sound from the restream. Yeah, there is no sound from the game, it seems. So I can just hear myself talking. So we're just going to have to do without sound, which is kind of sad because this game has a beautiful soundtrack. If you hear a little bit of noises in the background, it's just my kids. Sorry about that, but it should tone down soon. So yeah, here we go, playing Braid. Like I said, the main mechanic of this game is the rewind mechanic. You won't be able to see this much early on unless he makes a big mistake, because when you rewind, the timer does not rewind, so you want to rewind as little as possible. However, in some of the later stages of the game, the rewind mechanic is itself incorporated into the game, and it will you will have to rewind to solve certain puzzles. But as a speedrunner, we try to use it as little as possible. But because of the rewind mechanic and because of something called green platforms, which anything that's green in the game, including yourself sometimes, will not rewind as you rewind things. And this will cause for a lot of interesting mechanics to happen, and it has also opened up a lot of tricks and opportunities for speedrunners. There were a few actual glitches in the game that we can exploit, but there's a lot of in-game mechanics that are exploitable, which are clearly not intended because you skip parts of the level doing so. Right now he's on the first world, which is called World 2, and it's pretty basic and straightforward, but there's a little bit of a routing thing here. As you can see, he just went through an entire level to get this piece on another level, and it's basically you want to enter this level from the left, not from the right instead of the left, so you just go and get that piece on the other level as you're waiting, because that piece is completely independent of all the other pieces on that level. So it's just a simple routing thing. Oh, he's trying. Oh wow, he got. Okay, so that jump he did right there is like a task jump way of doing it. I have no idea how to practice that. I've never even tried to do that jump. It doesn't save much time, but it's kind of cool to watch. So right here is a really cool part of Braid. If you haven't played the game, this is kind of spoiling it a bit, but as you can see, some of the puzzle pieces have platforms on it. So this is actually how the game intended for you to solve this puzzle, is to use the puzzle itself to solve a puzzle in-game, which is kind of fun. Okay, so the music is coming. Okay, I still can't hear the music on this stream that I'm watching, but hopefully I'm just going to listen to myself for a second. Yeah. Okay, so that is working. So he's almost going to be done with World 2. This is going quite fast. It is pretty good after all. There's some tricky jumps here, but luckily you have the rewind mechanic. This is one of the few places. See if he gets it. No, he doesn't. This is one of the... Yeah, like you see, this is one of the few places you need to rewind in this world. Well, you don't need to, but sometimes happens because that jump is particularly tricky to get. There's another jump coming up, actually, where you have to jump over one of the green plants coming up, or you can. I think he does it. I'm trying to remember PY strats. I know I usually jump over this thing. Let's see if he does it. Yeah, he does, but not as quickly as I can. It's basically the same. So I got about a 3-minute for World 2, which is pretty normal. So at the end of each world, you have to actually put together a puzzle. And there's actually an achievement in game, which is to complete the game in 45 minutes or less. The current world record, which POI holds, is 24 minutes and 10 seconds. So that achievement has been pretty handily beaten. So now we come to World 3. It starts in World 2 for story reasons, but there's no point really talking about the story of Braid because we just don't have time for that in a speed run. Also, the story is very vague. But as you could see, green things, like the key was green, and things that are green, when he rewind, it went with him. It didn't like stay behind like it kind of should have, if you think about it logically from a time rewind perspective, which is kind of hard to imagine. But here again, we see some of the clouds are green. Like you can see right now, the green cloud is moving even though he freezes time. And the game is set up to be beaten that way. So you have to freeze time sometimes. Yeah, rewinding in all platformers would be great. Oh, he tried to get like a little boost that Goomba across. It's not really called a Goomba, but we just used the Mario word and call it a Goomba. Try to boost that Goomba across. So yeah, he can rewind because that puzzle piece was green. So the puzzle piece stays taken. Got a little corner boost there. If you land on the corner of platforms, you get boosted forward a little bit. So we try to do that as much as possible, although it doesn't add up too much, but we always try to do it because, hey, we're speedrunners. We want to save them frames. Okay, there's a little cool trick here. And he's actually, I'm really happy to see this because, oh, he didn't make it though. The way he rewinded there is how I've been doing it for a while, but he hasn't. So he's been adapting to my strategy there, actually. So that was kind of fun to watch. But he sadly failed a little bit, so I had to rewind a couple of times there. Now there's a whole bit on the top here that he's going to completely ignore because this actually is a glitch where you can jump higher on a ladder if the ladder is close to the platform, and than was intended. It's only 7 or 8 frames after you climb the ladder that you can jump, and then if you jump after that, you're just going to fall down like you should instead of going extra high. He's going to use that trick 2 more times in this run. The next one will be very, very soon. Oh yeah, he has to freeze there for a second. So you're supposed to sync up the 2 cannons to shoot the cannonballs, so the timing of these cannonballs won't be so tight, but you can just use another ladder jump just like that. So you don't have to spend time. Ooh, and he messed up a little. There we go. Okay. Now this next level is a little bit tricky because you cannot make any mistakes. If you make a mistake in the beginning of this level and rewind, then you lock an in-game mechanic, so you can't complete the level. So you have to be very careful. About now, he can start to make mistakes without screwing that up. So yeah, I had to rewind there slightly. That won't mess anything up, and he also has to rewind very soon after getting this key without getting the other key first. You have to get the keys in the right order in this level, or else you're not gonna be able to complete it. So a lot of shenanigans with the green mechanics here. This is all very optimized. Many years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago, there was maybe even more, I don't remember, there was a tool-assisted speedrun for Braid, which all of the current Braid runners chipped together to discover new strategies, and it was an insane run. And PY is the only one that had the balls to take some of those strategies and implement them into single segment runs. And a lot of that stuff we're seeing today. And after that task run, PY was able to shave 3 minutes off of the world record, or 2 or 3 minutes. It was insane. That's where most of the speedrunning trick and developments for Braid happened, going from just doing things fast into doing actual tricks. There is a trick there where you can get that key at the same time as you jump on the Goomba, but he missed it just slightly. And this is kind of the first boss fight. You can just rewind to hit the boss several times. So you got 4 hits there. If you blunk, you missed it. This next level is really cool. This has a real trick that was quite recently discovered, where you jump right there as he jumped, which is kind of an odd place to jump. But if he does this precisely and correctly, he will be able to skip half of the level. If he fails it, though, he has to restart the whole level because it is a trick you have to do while you're rewinding, so you can't just rewind to fix it again. So he has to stop precisely. There we go. He got it. He should get it now. He can actually jump in the air for a couple of frames here. Yeah, there we go. And he should be able to get the key right there. Oh, this is beautiful. Gets a little speed boost there. Very nice, PY. And now he gets that piece before that thingy goes down. I don't know what to call it. And that's not intended because there's a whole part, the lower part there, that where you're supposed to rewind back to get that thing that went down up again to go get the piece. But he didn't have to do that. So he's going to skip that whole part, and he's going to finish World 3 in 7:44, which is really nice. He does use the in-game timer. We usually use the in-game timer in Braid because it's very consistent. Like the an external timer might like change for loading times and stuff, but the in-game timer is consistent. And it also stops when you puzzle, so you can take small breaks when you puzzle, which is nice. So World 4 is very confusing. Time goes forward when you go forward, and then time goes backwards when you go backwards, as you can see right now, and you can probably hear from the music. So playing this the first time, everything you want to do logically doesn't work, and you have to like think outside the box for every single level. Of course, we speedrunners play this a tons of times, so that part isn't difficult, but there's still a lot of interesting tricks in this world. Ooh, and he got the corner boost there. Very nice. That's basically the best time saver on this level. It's going to rewind and going to get this one. Very nice. So yeah, you're going to fall asleep to the music here. I can't hear it. Like, I can't hear a single thing. Oh, I guess I can't hear it because then then I would hear the French people talk. Oh, no, okay. There's a trick there. I forgot that he's doing that. I don't do that trick, but he didn't get it, unfortunately, so I had to do it the classical way. So he's going to get that key right there from the Goomba. Oh, very nice. That jump is actually much harder than it looks. I always fail that one. I need to practice that. And that's that level as well. Braid has an interesting thing where it repeats a lot of levels. Like, you may remember this level from World 2, but because of the mechanics of this world is different than the mechanics of World 2, the whole level becomes different, as well as those Goombas that he just killed came back to life because he moved too far to the left. So he has to kill them in a certain order for it to work. There we go. Oh. Alright. So now he has to kill them in the correct order while doing it as effectively as possible. And as soon as they're killed, that door opens and it stays open even if he rewinds. Alright, real big trick here. So that was a key right to the left of him as he started that level, and he's supposed to use that to open the door on the top, but he can just use his rabbit instead with very careful positioning. Ooh, almost. Okay, didn't get it quite. He has to redo that. Very careful jump and positioning. Has to do it again. This is a very difficult trick. He goes a little bit too far to the left, I think, when he lands. Yeah, he does. Again, maybe this is going to work. There we go. Maybe. Okay, so he wants to bounce off of this rabbit and get that. There we go. That should do it. Yes, that should do it. He jumps off of the rabbit and he gets that piece right there. So he doesn't have to do all the other stuff with the key. It's a very difficult trick to get right the first time, though. Now he needs to Maynard this Goomba across with some time manipulation. So he has something to jump on to get that other piece. Yeah, the rabbit trick is really interesting and cool. But it's quite difficult to get right. That rabbit manipulation is much more difficult than it looks. There's a trick here. There was a key to the left here as well. You need to bring a Goomba across, and you can do that in one cycle. Didn't get it. He has to wait a little bit longer for this cycle. And now the Goomba's going to get the key, and if you blink, you're going to miss this. Okay, got the key. This level is insane. It goes so fast. So he has the key, he has to wait a little, and he can open the door. And back up we go. Whee! And now here comes a PY special. He's the only runner that does this level the way he does it. I tried to do this about 20 times, and I almost got it right one of those times. What he's about to do here is insane. So let's see if he gets it. Ooh, is this gonna be good enough? Okay, he needs to get this. No, he failed it. Okay, he's gonna have to redo the level. This is why I don't do this trick. It's so incredibly difficult. Alright, so he's gonna turn around, stop, and then freeze, and then let him get it, turn around, freeze again, and then jump at the precise... There we go, and then he's gonna rewind perfectly, and then he's gonna have to set up an incredibly difficult sequence where he opens the door, goes back, then rewinds, lets it go through, and then... Oh, he got it! Wow, that's insane! That trick is so hard. There is a much easier way to do this level, which I use, which is only like 4 or 5 seconds slower. But because I can't do that. I cannot do that. So yeah, enjoy that. So he finished at 11:50. He's gonna go into World 5 soon. He just needs a puzzle. So yeah, this puzzling is again nice because you get a little break from everything and get ready for the next world. So yeah, this next world is quite interesting. You have, if you rewind, you have a shadow of yourself that will repeat the actions you took before you rewound, or you can just fall down like that and get a piece. So everything is purple will be affected by what your shadow does as well as yourself. So he can do stuff like he's doing right now. It's a cool little mechanic, and this is actually quite helpful for speedrunning. So you're gonna have to kill this Goomba like, because the Goomba is also purple, he gets to use the shadow thing and whatnot. No, a Goomba isn't purple. Well, whatever. Oh yeah, that's good, or else he would have died. Oh, the logic of this game. It's quite gets you a headache sometimes. And this world is kind of cool. He has to grab this key and then he has to hand it to himself. He's gonna just wake up the rabbit first. So just rewind and then get in position to grab his own key. Thank you. Shadow is being very kind. Now, next level comes the last ladder jump of this run, the last glitch, kind of, when it comes to an actual glitch. And it's also the most difficult one. This one is a 2-frame perfect ladder jump, and if you fail it, like I often do, it doesn't work. Så nå kommer det komma, tror jag. Oh, yeah. Sorry about noises in the background. Okay, so, he missed the Goomba there. Okay, so he wants to kill the Goomba with his shadow, because the Goomba's purple. There we go. Because that spawns a new one. And now, instead of using that Goomba to get up here, you're just gonna, nice, perfect ladder trick the first time. That, he made it look so easy. It looked like he just used the ladder to climb up, but that's impossible. He actually did like a ladder trick there. Oh, we almost missed that. Alright. Sadly, this level coming up right now doesn't have any tricks in it at all. It's just an optimization of whatever's in the game. Even the task run couldn't find anything interesting to do here, unfortunately. You use your own shadow to open this door, but you have to, you start jumping and you don't actually see it go through. That's a small trick you can do, but apart from that, this level, I would rate this level about the most boring one in the whole game when it comes to speedrunning, because there's just no optimization here. So yeah. But yeah, it's really fun watching PY do this. He's like I said, the best speedrunner in Braid in the whole world. So a couple of months ago it was me, but he beat me again, so can't say that anymore. And while we're watching this somewhat boring level, in February 20th or 21st, ESA Winter 2018, I will be speedrunning Braid on the ESA. So make sure to tune in for that as well. It's going to be great. Here comes the second kind of boss. There are really no bosses in this game, but it's the same one from that other one. He's now also been affected by Shadow Chandelier, so there's a really weird trick which you're probably going to miss here. We can get 3 hits off of that because he rewind at certain times, and that's actually 5 hits, and he gets the key and you can barely see it. It's quite a difficult trick to explain. Some of these are, but it's definitely like not how Jonathan Blow intended that to be done. Again, it's like an abusive in-game mechanics. And you can use your own shadow to get this. Yes, there we go. It's always nice. See, if he gets this, he needs to use his shadow to open it, and then nice. That was quite fast. This level right here is so difficult if you never played the game before. Like, you have no idea. Like, because you open the door and rewind, and then the key still doesn't work. Like, how am I supposed to do this? But it actually works. This next world coming up is definitely the trickiest world in the whole game when it comes to speedrunning. It has 4 levels in a row. The 4 last levels of that world in a row are the 4 hardest levels in the whole game, I think. And they're coming right after each other. That's like basically the run killer or run saver. And the first one of those 4 levels, called Cascade, is the most difficult level in the whole run. You have a ring you can put down on the ground, which slows times down around you. He's going to do it right now, as you can see. He needs to slow down that thing coming down so it doesn't block the door. But since the time slows you down, the ring slows you down, you don't want to use it as a speedrunner, as little as possible. So we try to use it very little, and in the level called Cascade, you're supposed to use it like 3 times or 4 times even, and we only use it once. So we found ways to cut that down. But it's very difficult to do those tricks. So it's going to be interesting to see him do those. So this is not the one. It's the one after this one. Yeah. So the 4 levels after this one is going to be crazy. That's when all the fun begins. And of course the last level is crazy too. Yeah, spoilers. Yeah, if you haven't played Braid and you want to actually like solve some of these things yourself, some of these things you will do the same way, some of these things you'll probably do very differently. You shouldn't be watching this. Okay, so here's Cascade. He needs to get on this ladder very specifically, jumping right before it. So he needs to clear this cannonball just barely. Okay, he got it. And now he can jump up on this Goomba perfectly without using the ring. Oh, almost. He's going to have to redo that one. There we go. So you're kind of supposed to use the ring to go up there, but he did it without. And now you're supposed to use the ring again, but he's just going to boost off of that Goomba and get that piece right like that. That's just beautiful. So he didn't need to use the ring again. And now he's going to put the ring on the ground in a very specific spot. Oh, I think he got it. Yeah, that should work. And this is just barely going to allow him to get out of this cave without dying. But it's incredibly close. There's only a couple of frames. He has to do a perfect jump in. So he actually freezes the timer. I actually taught him this. And then the Windows logo appears. Okay, there we go. And then, no, he didn't get it right. Oh, okay, I think he got it right there. And then he can barely get out there. There we go. Oh, that is so close. Oh, that is so insanely close. And now he has to time this one perfectly. He's supposed to use the ring here too to get 2 Goombas to jump on, but it is possible with just 1 Goomba if you get it just right. There we go. Wow. And that's it. That's Cascade. Now he just needs to jump down and get the last piece that he opened up in the cave. And the Windows logo keeps popping up. So he goes in and out of Cascade real quick just so that ring disappears so it doesn't get slowed down when he runs across there where he put it down on the ground. So here's another really difficult level. There are a couple of Goombas off screen that are trying to cross a field with green plants, and you want to manipulate the time to get those green plants to go up and down the way you want them to. So he's going to freeze time here very soon, even though he's off screen, to manipulate that. If you saw the run from Summer Games Done Quick, Seawolf actually managed to manipulate those from the very beginning of this. He got it. He gets the Goomba across there. There's actually a third plant you can't see that he also manipulated. He's going to get a second one across just to be safe, because you can do this in one jump, like this. But if you fail that one jump, you have the second Goomba. Or the third Goomba. You don't want to get the third Goomba, but it happens sometimes. Because it gets messed up a little bit. So this one is really tight to cross. Okay, got it. I timed it. It's 4.5. It's probably not seconds, but when I count, it's 4.5. And yeah, there we go. Nice jump. Ooh, almost died there. Is it possible with just 1 Goomba? Oh, I always use 2 Goombas. I didn't even know that. It's going to get a mother of corner boost right there. And probably going to do a little bit of puzzling right here. The puzzle isn't complete, but it's nice to get all these pieces up. So when you get the rest, it's much easier. And all these pieces mostly fit together, and the last 4 actually just spawn almost right next to each other perfectly. So finishing it up is really easy. Okay, this level is insane. So there's a green platform that gives you the green state. And you keep the green state after you've exited the green platform for a couple of frames. So he's going to use that early on to not have to put the ring down to slow down this cannon. So he's just going to rewind his way through these cannonballs. Almost didn't get it. He's going to try it again. So. There we got it. So since he kept the green state for a little bit, he can manipulate it like that, which is very difficult. And then if you go off a green platform, do something, rewind, go on the green platform again, and then forward time, then the things you did will still happen, but you won't be there anymore. And we're going to do that, or he's going to do that in a really weird way soon. It's really difficult to explain, but it works. Just enjoy it. Oh, no, he kind of failed a little bit there. So yeah, he needs to go on the very top there. This is kind of like a secret area where you can get a star. There are some stars hidden in this game, but he's not going to care about that. And he's going to skip all these cannons, and by doing so he's going to get this ring, and then he's going to get the platform to go down on himself as he holds the ring, and he's going to rewind and then forward time, so that the platform will keep pushing that ring down, so the ring should now be on the ground. And if you understood that, then you're a genius, and if you didn't, that's fine. Most people don't. But the ring is on the ground right now. And now he can do the same with his puzzle piece. He took it, he lost it, he's going to go there forward time again, and then the puzzle piece comes back. Thank you. So he doesn't have to actually run all the way back and forth. So last level of this world. He's supposed to put the ring down on the ground to the left there to slow down that key from falling. But who needs to do that when you can just fall down in a very specific way? Oh, and he got the first frame there. That's really good. So he's going to do something crazy. Oh, that was not what he was supposed to do. All right, he's gonna have to think. Okay, there we go. He's gonna set up the trick again. Yeah, he was supposed to go down there. He missed that. Ooh, and he gets the bad fall down, which he can fix it, I think. Is this gonna work? Yeah, this is gonna work just fine. He does this trick in a crazy, like I do basically the same trick, but I set up a little bit differently, so it's more consistent. But then you have less time to pick up the ring, and you can key, and you can fail that sometimes. That is a very difficult trick. That took me forever to learn. And actually, the way he does it, I still can't really do that. So I just had to find my own way of doing it, like I said. So yeah. So that's the last like world with a puzzle. There's the world 1, which is the final world he's going to do, where it has like the final level. There are 2 endings to this game. There's the normal ending, and then there's the alternative ending. The alternative ending is technically only possible to get by getting 7 of the stars, and then the 8th star is on that level if you've gotten it. Why did he go up the ladder? I think he just fooled around there. Right, there we go. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. And but we found a way, and this is actually a pretty old skip that was found, where you can get the alternative ending even if you don't have the 7 stars. And the alternative ending is faster than the normal one. So you want to do that, but it's quite tricky, and you have to set it up there. You have to actually get some corner boosts and stuff like that. Most of the corner boosts in the game are just there for fun. Or not for fun, but to get a little bit of frames here and there. But this corner boost that's going to come in this next level is important to actually complete the game. Oh, and he got the 1 Goomba trick there. Very nice. So yeah, this is the last re-level. There's a level after this, which is just like a story thing, like an epilogue. There has no real tricks in it. But this level, like this is the one I talked about, where that has 2 endings. And we want to unlock the alternative ending for the speedruns, because it's faster. You don't have to complete as much of the level, and when you in the normal ending you have to rewind everything in x1 speed, and in the alternative ending you can just run on top, so you don't have to go up and down all the time. So it's slightly faster. Yeah, the whole game is just a meme. So yeah, the gimmick in this world, because there's been a gimmick for each world, the last world was that ring. The gimmick in this world is that everything goes backwards. So when she's running away from this guy, she's actually running towards him, if you go the right way. So it kind of messes up the story a bit. Okay, so he needs to get a perfect jump. Is that good enough? And he needs the corner boost here. He didn't get the corner boost. No, he didn't get it. There we go. That's the corner boost he wants. This is the setup you want. Now you need to clear this cannonball coming. Let's see if he can clear it. Oh, he got it, but he doesn't want to head. Oh, he got the head boost. You don't want to head bam, but you want a head boost. He got it now. So he's going to be able to unlock the alternative ending. But you have to, your movement after this has to be like perfect. So that's why he's rewinding so many times, because he wants to make sure his movement is good. And he should be able to jump on this Goomba right here. Just got it. This is what you need to do to unlock the alternative ending. Let's not try to hit it. So there we go. Now you can see the flames are way behind, and he's he can clear this plant coming up. And now he's like ahead of where he's supposed to be. So he's gonna be here when the princess comes, and this chandelier that's broken on the ground is gonna reassemble itself, and he can join it upwards, which is not supposed to be possible when you don't have the stars. Oh, and the princess explodes, because spoilers, she's a metaphor for the atomic bomb. So we'll see. Well, yeah, maybe sub 24. I don't know. No, I mean sub 26, sub 24. Man, that would be a new world record. Sub 26 is potentially possible. So right now, since he got the alternative ending, he can just run to the left here. If you didn't get the alternative ending here, you would have to run further to the right first, just down below where he was. And then you would have to rewind everything you did in x1 speed, ups and downs and ins and outs and all the stuff you pushed. But now he can just run left, so this is much faster. So yeah, this is a weird game. One way to interpret this game is that Tim is an engineer who works on the Manhattan Project, and that he has having regrets for making the atomic bomb, or he's like chasing the atomic bomb, trying to get it. It's kind of weird. This story can be interpreted in so many ways because it's really vague. But we don't have time to read it, and also it's in French, so who can understand that, right? Except for the 1,000 people watching the other stream. So yeah. So this is the epilogue. This is just the final little story level. They just get to read up on all the story, and you think you're gonna get the whole story explained, but you're not really. You're just gonna have more questions than you had before you got into this level. So, but we're gonna look at the timer. It may be a sub 26. It's really close. Can he do it? This is the last door. Oh, it's gonna barely do it. So a 25:57 run. This is a really nice run. I'm gonna give him a little round of applause for that. So As you can see, his best run is 24:14. Oh, he's playing on his own computer then, because that is the world record that he has right there. So good job. Good job. I don't know if he confirmed it. I don't know if Jonathan Blow confirmed that it was an atomic bomb. But that is like the most common interpretation. Like the thing is, in one of the last books that he just opened, there is I'm gonna say there's a quote from the Manhattan Project in it, so that's a pretty big giveaway. But again, I don't think he meant for the story to be only interpreted one way. I think it's supposed to be about many different things at once. So yeah, that was Braid. Thank you for watching. I've been Kanban85. Feel free to give PY a follow. I don't know if he streams much these days, but he streams sometimes. And like I said, just repeating, I'm going to also speedrun Braid at the ESA Winter 2018 in February. So feel free to tune in as well for that. So I think I'm going to head out. It's just me here now. I don't know who's going to comment on the next run. I don't want to just leave you guys hanging completely. What is coming up? There was a schedule I saw earlier. Where was the schedule? There it is. So coming up is Quake. I don't know who's going to comment Quake. Cool Kid with Quake. Oh, Cool Kid is going to comment, of course. Yeah, of course Cool Kid is going to comment Quake, because Cool Kid is the Quake guy. So yeah.